want to talk Brad Holmes for a little bit as we're getting close to the 2023 NFL Draft and how he is a genius. The guy knows what he's doing, and I think we all should just go ahead and trust what he does in the NFL Draft. Whether it be a decision that we may not like personally with selecting a player, I think he deserves the ability to have that trust that he knows what players to bring in and to help this football team out, because he's done a phenomenal job so far, and you got to be able to show some love to this guy. But before we get into today's video, we talk about Brad Holmes. If you're a Lions fan, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors from a fan perspective and a Herman Moore former player perspective. And on draft night, we're going to be at Soaring Eagle Casino in Mount Pleasant, live with Herm, Dosa Dion, Everything King, Chrissy, and myself. Come out and have fun. Absolutely have fun. Without further ado, let's get this thing going. Brad Holmes has done a great job so far, and I'm not just blowing smoke up his 2 points of contact here. I'm being legitimate of how he has built this football team through the draft and the process. Last year's draft was so integral to how this team is right now and the development of those young players, putting the Lions in position to where this is not a rebuild year 3 to me. This is a win the NFC North to me. This is a team that can compete in the NFC because the draft picks that he has done is working out like we've never seen before as Lions fans. His ability to find talent in the mid to late rounds is just as important as his ability to find talent in round 1. We're talking about the Jerry Jacobs. We're talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown, Malcolm Rodriguez. You can just go down the list of players that he's bought. Is it perfect? No. We've seen Melifanu, he's not progressing like we see. Derek Barnes, we're not seeing the progress probably would like. And, of course, Levi Nuzurike. But no GM is perfect. But he right now is one of the best general managers in all in football in finding talent. And so what did he do this offseason? He goes and gets Sutton. He gets Mosley. And he gets Gardner Johnson to beef up that secondary. Re-signs a couple players like Isaiah Buggs. Go ahead and get Alex Anzalone and John Kaminsky to help this team out, Marvin Jones as well, giving the Lions an opportunity to go in any direction in the NFL draft. Before free agency, we all knew that the secondary was cheeks and it needed to get upgraded. And so if the Lions didn't go crazy into the free agency to acquire more talent, we knew in the NFL draft that's probably we're gonna go really early. But with the additions that they did in free agency, acquiring those talent, the Lions pretty much can go in any direction they want in the NFL draft. And why is that important? It is important to go best player available, acquiring talent to upgrade your roster regardless of position. Now, I'm not talking about taking a kicker in round 1 or anything like that, but generally speaking, if there is a great defensive tackle or a wide receiver or a running back or an offensive lineman, any position that's pretty much meaningful, the Lions can take that because they don't have a massive need right now. It's just there's not a massive need. Now, you can say defensive tackle's a need and maybe, a backup lineman or something like that, but this not like we've seen in years past because he has drafted so well the last 2 years, as well as this free agency, the Lions can go in any different way. And that has set up this franchise for one of the best possible drafts to push this franchise in the right direction with 9 draft picks. And another thing, what I really like about Brad Holmes, the guy says stuff without saying a damn thing. We've seen rumors all offseason from each NFL team. This player wants to be traded. This player potentially going. We're not hearing anything out of Allen Park. Nothing. It just happens. Something happens like the Okudah trade. We heard the day before that they potentially could trade him, and then he's gone. You're not hearing a lot of information getting thrown out of there, and that's great for what they do as an organization. It sucks for content creators like myself because we want to talk about it, but guess what? I would rather it be silent, have no idea what's going on, because that means other teams Other general managers don't know what the hell the Detroit Lions are going to do. It just happens. And that is really important for the NFL draft and how the Lions stack their board and all of that for talent acquisition. If you remember Bob Quinn, he came out and says, nope, Matthew Stafford's the guy. You don't do that, even if he is the guy, even if you're not taking a quarterback, even if you're not looking at a quarterback or a certain position, you never say that. It gives an indication to everybody else what the Lions are doing. And when you do that, guess what? The trades get less. The options to get a player you want decreases. All that type of stuff is really bad for a team in the NFL draft. And what Brad Holmes has said this offseason, we're looking to build up the quarterback room. Yeah, we'll go in any direction. Yeah, we'll draft a quarterback. Yeah, we'll do BPA. Yeah, all of this. So teams, what the hell are the Lions going to do? I mean, when you look at mock drafts, we think it's going to go edge, right? We think it's going with defensive line at 6. But does anyone actually believe what they're going to do? Hell no! You can look at other teams and say, I know what they're going to do there. Houston Texans quarterback, or it's going to be Will Anderson. You look at the Carolina Panthers. We know they're going to go. We look at other teams. You kind of have an idea what they're going to do. A lot of these teams, you have a real good idea what they're going to do, or at least what position. When you look at the Lions, could they go offensive line at 6? Yeah. Could they go edge? Yeah. Could they go defensive tackle? Yeah. Could they go offensive? Yeah. Could they go quarterback? Yeah. I mean, it's just, could they go DB? Yeah. And that's why we're seeing these mock drafts. They have no idea. The professionals know what they're doing. I have no idea. I have been really good in the draft finding who the Lions are going to select. Real good. I've been freaking spot on with a lot of these draft picks. I tell you right now, I have no freaking idea. I think it's going to be a player, potentially, but they could go in so many different directions because Brad Holmes is a genius. He's an absolute stud. The guy knows what he's doing. And it's really good to see because he's setting up this team to be a perennial playoff football team, to be a winner year in and year out. Something we have coveted as Lions fans forever. We've never been a perennial winner. We've been a team here and there who will make the playoffs 2014, 2011. But in generally speaking, it's not something that happens every year. But with his acquisition of talent, the way he operates as a general manager, the way he puts information out there without putting information out there has set this franchise up for absolute success. So what happens in the NFL draft? Brad Holmes decides to draft a player that I don't like or you don't like. Should I be upset? No. He knows exactly what he's doing. I'm not going to be upset if he goes in a different direction that I don't want. I trust him 100%. In round 1 through round 7, even though he got a 7th round pick this year. I trust him. He knows players. And what I really like about him is these 5th round picks that he's gotten. And yeah, we traded Okudah for a 5th round pick, but he can find talent in the 5th round. He has this draft owned right now. 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a 3rd, 2 5ths, and 2 6ths. We can go up in the draft. We can go back in the draft. We have the ability to be flexible to make this team better. That is what this man has done for our football team. Made this team better. The ability to acquire talent through slick moves in a quick period of time. When he took this team over 2 years ago, the roster was booty cheeks. It was terrible. What Patricia and Bob Quinn did to this roster should be illegal. And he comes in here, in 2 years, made this a winning football team. My expectations last year, 7-8 wins. We got to 9, 8 out of 10. Really turned it up. Jared Goff, freaking looking really good. This offense on fire. Freaking Adventures coaching staff. And it has to do with leadership and Bob Quinn not being the guy, and Matt Millen not being the guy. Mayhew not being the guy, but Brad Holmes has locked this bad boy down and made a staple for this team now to be looked at in the national media as a NFC competing team because of talent acquisition, because the way we operate now is an organization, the way this leadership is, and it starts top down. Absolutely love it. Sheila Ford gets credit too. Dan Campbell gets credit too. All the coaches get credit too. Everybody in freaking Allen Park gets credit for this. Spielman, credit. Everybody. Damn lunch ladies get credit because this thing completely turned around how we look at this franchise. We took it from a dark old garbage town to a team that's looked at as a team competing. And man, it feels real good again, folks. On draft night, we're at the casino, Soaring Eagle Casino. Make sure you're there. I'm there. Herman Moore there. We're going to have Everything King, Dosa Dion, Chrissy. We're going to do giveaways. We're going to throw some stuff at you. We're going to have a good time, a reaction to the draft, talk about the selections like at ESPN, but live at the Soaring Eagle Casino. If you like autographs from Herm, you just got to show up, get some pictures taken, and some other people as well. Wink, wink. We're going to have some fun interaction, hell of a good time with people that knows what they are doing. So let me know in the comment section thoughts on this video, thoughts on Brad Holmes. Show some love to my G. With that said, folks, adios.